Good evening, City Council. Good evening, City of Sioux Falls. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's meeting. It is the Sioux Falls City Council meeting of Monday, November 1st, 2010. If we could have a roll call of who's here tonight, please.
Council members Aguilar.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Entenmann.
Here.
Erpenbach.
Here.
Jameson.
Here.
Litz.
Here.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Once again, Sioux Falls, all of your city councilors are present and accounted for. I'd like to start with our invocation, and we're very lucky to have Councilor Vernon Brown. We'll give our invocation tonight. After that's done, if you would remain standing, we'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance immediately after that. Councilor Brown, thank you.
If you'll bow your heads. Dear God, we thank you for the extended fall we've had, allowing farmers to get their harvest out, and for those of us within the city to enjoy the beautiful fall weather. We thank you for this time of gathering together to find solutions and compromises in the best spirit possible for the citizens of Sioux Falls. We hope that you'll be with us as we make these important decisions this evening. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you here tonight. We do have a proclamation that I'd like to read. Whereas Sioux Falls, South Dakota is a community that acknowledges that a special vibrancy exists within the entire community when its individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. Whereas Sioux Falls, South Dakota is a community that encourages its citizens to maximize their personal contribution to the community by giving of themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, family, friends, and community. Whereas Sioux Falls, South Dakota is a community that chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations within its community who go the extra mile in order to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. Whereas Sioux Falls, South Dakota acknowledges the mission of the Extra Mile America Foundation to create 100 Extra Mile cities and states in America, and is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1st, 2010. I urge each individual in our community to take time on this day to not only go the extra mile in his or her own life, but to also acknowledge all those around who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, community, country, and or world a better place. Now, therefore, I, Mike Huther, Mayor of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2010 to be Extra Mile Day in Sioux Falls. Thank you. We are fortunate to have two special guests here tonight, not only here at the City Council meeting, but also here in our city, and yes, here in our country. Tamara?
Thank you, Mayor. It is my distinct honor to introduce two members of the Legislative Fellows Program for the Ukraine, Russia, and the Republic of Georgia. From Tbilisi, Republic of Georgia, is Mr. Zurab Dikanoidze, and from Moscow, Russia, is Yuri Nabatoski. And these gentlemen would like to come forward and say a few words, if they may, please.
Let's give them a welcome. They're fighting who wants to speak first, you can tell. Welcome.
Good to see you. Yeah. Thank you all for this chance. Well, initially we really here in America for the Legislative Fellows Program, we have to study the legislative process in America. But, well, the real taste of America we get here in the city of Sioux Falls. So I'd like to say my thanks to all the Sioux Falls people and Sioux Falls Council and City administration for this chance, and and personally to Tamara for a whole day spent with us explaining how it works, the city administration here. So thank you, just thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure for me and a great honor to meet and greet with the council members and with the citizens being here. I am also a participant of the Legislative Fellows Program, which is sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, its Bureau of the Cultural and Educational Affairs. And I am in Sioux Falls to learn American democracy, election process, activity of public administration, public institution, and it is very exciting to be in Sioux Falls. It's wonderful and exciting city with its very kind, nice, and wonderful people. Thank you the opportunity to attend this meeting in City Council, and it was very interesting to see how the democratic process is carrying out is in Sioux Falls in City Council, and how democratic process is in decision making of the your City Council. Thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
I'd like to take a minute to talk, to introduce the Boy Scout troop that I have. Had the privilege of doing some tutelage on just a minute ago. We didn't have much time together because of the length of our meetings this afternoon, but for 15-20 minutes we had some cookies together, and we also the cookies were the best part, weren't they, guys? And we got to talk a little bit about how government works here in Sioux Falls. So what troop is it? Pack 361. Why don't you guys stand up and let us say hi and thank you for coming down.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councilor Huntsman.
I had an opportunity to travel with Tamara and our visiting guests today throughout the day as they visited our city hall as well as our community health and our police department, and they asked some very probing questions. They were excited about the process of our government, and it was my honor and my privilege to escort them around Sioux Falls along with Tamara. So thank you, gentlemen. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you all. Thanks again for being here, and welcome to our country and welcome to our city. And to the Scouts, love it, and to the Scout leaders, we love you even more. So thank you. City Council, could we have a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
So moved, Erpenbach.
Second, Litz.
It's been a motion by Councilor Erpenbach, seconded by Councilor Litz to approve tonight's consent agenda. If I could have a roll call vote, please.
Council members Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown? Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Thank you. If I could have a motion to approve tonight's regular agenda, please.
So move, Anderson. Second, Jamison.
It's been a motion by Councilor Anderson, Jr., seconded by Councilor Jamison to approve tonight's regular agenda. Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Council members Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown? Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 7-0 as well. Again, I'd like to welcome you all to tonight's City Council meeting, and we do have an opportunity for all of you to speak to your City Council here in Sioux Falls. If you have anything that you'd like to relay to them, please come up. We would just ask if it is an item that is on the regular agenda, wait until that time, but if it's something different, please come on up, and scouts and scout leaders, that includes you as well. Any comments at all for our City Council? Yes, please. And if you would just state your name, please.
I'm Roger Augustma. I come to talk about the event center.
Welcome, Roger.
But there's one little thing I want to say a minute first. When I was in high school for a year, I rode on the school bus with an exchange student from Yugoslavia. He was a die-hard communist, and someone told him he was brainwashed, and he told us we were brainwashed because we both have assumptions about each other. So I'd like to thank you, gentlemen from Russia, for coming. And it's good to actually meet each other instead of just hear about each other.
Thanks, Roger.
A couple things about the event center. I missed a meeting a month ago and a lot of people talked. And I'm going to say something about parking, which I've seen from my own experiences before, and then a couple comments on a few cliches used a lot. When I was in college the first time, I worked for security department, and I patrolled the busiest, most congested parking lot on campus, and wrote a lot of tickets. Some thought I never missed one. But with an event center, the parking congestion is something that's got to be it's a priority. It's not the main priority. The event's the main priority, but it's still got to be done right. I've seen some examples. When I go to Minnesota Twins game, I went to the Metropolitan Stadium where they got a big flat parking lot, which would be comparable to the arena situation. And I've been downtown to the Metrodome where they got lots of parking garages where you got to walk a few blocks. I noticed at the Metrodome, well, the one time we walked across the Skyway, across the freeway from my sister's apartment, that was real simple. But when you walk across the big flat parking lot, the traffic is real slow. And lots of pedestrians and slow traffic can be fairly safe. Once you get on that street, 2 blocks down the street, heading for your parking ramp, in downtown Minneapolis, you got a stoplight, and the car stops, the people jaywalk, and the stoplight changes, and the probability of faster traffic and pedestrians just cutting all over, it's much safer in a big flat parking lot. We had somebody run over in 60th Street, and the lawyers can't figure out, with Janko, a misdemeanor that kills somebody is manslaughter, but they had a real hard, it's not a matter of the lawyers do it right. It's better to keep people safe the first time. So you never find out if the lawyers get good. So basically, it seems to me it's a lot safer to have a flat parking lot. The people walk down the center and the cars go out the side. When I went to the Mall of America and you walk through the Skyway to a parking ramp, you only walk through the traffic in your level. You don't walk through all these other areas to get there. Now, I don't know what the cost per parking space is for a parking ramp compared to buying a bunch of houses. That's got to be considered. But it's safer with a flat parking lot or a parking ramp that's directly connected without walking across streets to get there. The thing about the cliches, I heard a whole lot of people say good downtown is a good city, and there's going to be development. I seen an extreme example, heard somebody from Wichita who grew up here, is in city administration there when they're going to try to build a parking ramp. And they have this attitude, if you build up downtown, all the other boats in the harbor go up. Except I'd ridden through Wichita the year before, and none of the other boats went up. It was all downtown, and Sioux Falls is a whole lot better at keeping balance with all the neighborhoods and not just promoting one over the other. There's also the idea of development. We can look at 20 other cities or 50 or 100 other cities, but if you want to know how much development happens in Sioux Falls from events, you go to the Arena neighborhood, and that's 50 years of development. So if some think that's a boring neighborhood, but they want that downtown because their business is here, you're not going to get any more development downtown than they had there. Also, if you move events, and whatever business came from events leaves this neighborhood and goes here, that's not developing the city. That's just transferring business. And you have a business go broke here to build a new one here doesn't really help the overall business. It might help the guy downtown, but it's going to hurt somebody else. Thank you.
Mr. Ellsman, thanks so much for being here tonight. Would anybody else like to speak to the City Council? Mr. Shinga, welcome.
My name's Tim Stanga. I want to appreciate the mayor and the city council for what they're doing on the east side over in the Whittier neighborhood. I hear it from the neighbors stating that there's a lot less kids standing around. They see more police officers around. I got to thank the police officers too for doing their job. A lot more better reception from the neighbors. Event center, I'll wait till next week with that one. I guess the thing is, a lot of people want to know how this TJN over in the stockyards is going. Is that a for sure go, or is that something that's going to be put on hold? Because we really don't want that in our backyard. I don't know if you guys have drove over where they're at now. You couldn't put a big enough berm to hide that pile of garbage. And then another question that I've had raised, the gravel trucks that are hauling in Sioux Falls and on the interstate and everything, is there a ordinance stating that there has to be a cover over the top? Because when we go out to the dump, we have to have a cover on our vehicles to go to the dump. And you got gravel trucks that are driving, throwing rocks off from them, breaking windshields, breaking whatever they can break. And I think that's got to be looked at. If it isn't an ordinance, maybe we should make it an ordinance. And then another thing, hopefully next week we can get something done with the railroad. Sounds like the railroad's ready to maybe sit down or something.
Actually, the presentation, Mr. Stenger, for the railroad is in 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
Next
Okay.
week is the event center. Then the following week is the railroad presentation.
Okay. Well, looking forward to that.
You bet.
And hopefully we can get something done so people don't have to, one, rush out of the house and hopefully be able to get where they're supposed to get on time. So, that's it.
Mr. Stenger, thank you. I'll try to be very brief on the TJN facility. Our not only is Sioux Falls Development, but also the Planning and Zoning Department of City Government are working hand in hand with TJN to try to find them a different location other than the one at the stockyards. Don't want to overpromise and underdeliver tonight, but I will tell you that I think there is good progress that's being made, and once that is finalized, I know that Mike Cooper or the Sioux Falls Development Group, or maybe even the owners and executives of TJN will look forward to making an announcement to the city. I don't want to say that TJN is not going to move to the stockyards because that hasn't been ultimately finalized, but I think the odds are slim that they will be there.
Well, it comes up to the city council, does it not?
No, it would be right now it's zoned one particular way, but right now we're working with TJN to find them a good location that will meet their needs, as well as provide that rail access that they so desperately need, as well as find that balance between development for our city, as well as making sure that we aesthetically keep our this part of town looking as good as we can. So you're going to be hearing more about that, Mr. Stinga.
Okay, well, I'm just bringing, it took how much money to get the pits out of downtown. Why would we want to bring another one down there? So that's what I'm looking at.
And we agree. I think your city council is looking at that as well.
Okay.
You bet. Thank you,
Yep.
Mr. Stinga. Would anyone from the Boy Scout troop like to speak, or shall we move on? Very good. Is there anybody else in the audience who'd like to speak? Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will move forward then with tonight's agenda. We will move to item number
4. We're on item 4. Under unfinished business, item 4 is a new 2010 package liquor license for Walmart Stores Incorporated, Walmart Supercenter, 1535, to be operated at 3209 South Louise Avenue. Item 5 is to rescind 2010-2011 package malt beverage South Dakota Farm Winery license for Walmart Stores Incorporated, Walmart Supercenter, 1535, 3209 South Louise Avenue. Item 6 is a new 2010 package liquor license for Walmart Stores Incorporated, Walmart Supercenter, 3237, to be operated at 5521 East Arrowhead Parkway. Item 7 is to rescind 2010-2011 packaged malt beverage South Dakota Farm Winery license for Walmart Stores Incorporated, Walmart Supercenter, 3237, 5521 East Arrowhead Parkway. Item 8 is a special one-day liquor license for Hy-Vee Incorporated, all occasions by Hy-Vee, to be operated at the Old Courthouse Museum, 200 West 6th Street, on November 13th, 2010, for a wedding reception. Item 9 is a special one-day liquor license for Hy-Vee Incorporated, all occasions by Hy-Vee, to be operated at the Delbridge Museum of Natural History, 805 South Kiwanis Avenue, on January 8th, 2011, for a wedding reception. Item 10 is a special one-day liquor license for Avera McKinnon to be operated at the Avera Cancer Institute, 1000 East 23rd Street, on November 20th, 2010, for the Pink Fashionista event. Item 11 is a special one-day liquor license for Washington Pavilion Management Incorporated, Washington Pavilion of Arts and Science, 301 South Main Avenue, for a dinner on November 1st, 2010. Item 12 is a special one-day malt beverage and special one-day wine licenses for Senior Citizen Services Incorporated to be operated at Active Generations, 2300 West 46th Street, on May 1st, 2011, for the Gourmet Guys fundraiser.
Welcome, Lori.
Thank you. Thank you, Tamara. Lori Hogsted with the City Attorney's Office. I am here for items 4 through 12 and can certainly answer questions on any of these items.
Hearing none, would there be a motion from anybody? So moved, Entenmann.
Second, Litz.
It's been a motion by Councilor Entenmann, seconded by Councilor Litz, to approve items 4 through 12. Any further discussion? Hearing none, if I could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfe?
Yes.
Thank you, Lori. Item number 13.
Item 13 is deferred action from the meeting of October 4th, 2010. Second reading. An ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 704 South Cleveland Avenue from the RD Residential District to the C2 General Commercial District, petition number 2010-0718, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends denial.
Good evening. I'm Mike Cooper, representing Planning and Building Services. This particular property that we're considering tonight is located on the east side of Cleveland Avenue between East 13th and East 14th Streets. The owners are Mr. and Mrs. Langdon, and the issue there had been whether or not to approve a zoning change from residential to commercial. Historically, the property had been used as auto repair and auto sales. And at the last hearing, the City Council asked for another deferral so that we could look at other options. We heard some neighborhood concerns about changing the zoning to commercial. Since that time, we've met with the Langdons. We've also done some further research, and we've made the determination since then that the property does in fact have the status of a legal nonconforming use, more commonly known as a grandfather clause. And so based on that information, again, after discussing it with the property owners and also indicating that to the other citizens that testified at the last council meeting, the Langdons have asked that this be withdrawn for consideration tonight. And a letter has been sent out to people explaining what this legal nonconforming status means.
Yes.
So does this mean that if it's sold, it's still grandfathered in?
Yes. Yes. Any future use would still have to comply with any other city building codes or other zoning requirements.
Do you need a motion? Do you need a motion to withdraw? from the agenda?
I don't believe we do.
Okay.
I don't believe we do.
Any other questions of Mr. Brewer? Item number 14.
Okay, my apologies. We do need a motion to withdraw.
So moved.
Second.
Councilor Brown.
Second.
We've got a motion by Councilor Brown to withdraw item number 13 from tonight's work, and then it was seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. Is there any further discussion on this item? Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0.
Item number 14 is the second reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the Code of Ordinances of the city by adding several properties and deleting one property to Section 39-82A, providing for rural service district lands.
This is our annual update of this particular ordinance, which has to do with the state law and city ordinance that provides for property that has been annexed into the city limits and is still categorized as agricultural use, can be placed by city council action into a rural service district designation. And by doing that, the property is levied at the township level. So the city, the county, the school district will still receive the taxes, but it's based on the same levy as it was prior to the annexation. And we put together this list based on discussions with both Lincoln and Minnehaha County Register of Deeds, and they review these requests as well. Since first reading, we've had one additional item that we would like to add as item number 81 as an amendment to the ordinance.
Councilor Jameson.
I think we need a motion to amend.
We need a motion to adopt, and
Motion to
then
adopt.
if you want a motion to amend it, then I'll read the amendment.
Move to approve.
Second Aguilar.
It's been a motion by Councilor Jameson, seconded by Councilor Aguilar to adopt item number 14. Is there any further discussion?
Can I make the amendment? I'll make a motion to amend.
Thank you, Councilor Jameson.
If Tamara could read the amendment.
Okay, the amendment is to add the property as the 81st property. Southwest 1/4, Southwest 1/4, example, Oliver TR and Heinz Addition and X South 1/2 Government Lot 2, west of Heinz Addition and north of right-of-way of Tract 1, unplatted 18-101-48 and Tract 1, and north 150 feet, west 300 feet, Tract 3, Oliver's Tract, Southwest 1/4, Southwest 1/4, unplatted 18-101-48 and ICR abandoned right-of-way Southwest 1/4, unplatted 18-101-48 and Tracts 1, 2, and 5, Heinz Addition, all within 18-101-48, Minnehaha County, South Dakota.
Councilor Jameson's made an amendment to the motion. Is there a second?
Second Aguilar.
Seconded by Councilor Aguilar. Is there any question on the amendment to the main motion? Hearing none, if we could have a vote on the amendment to the motion.
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you, City Council. That is passed 8-0. Now we have an amended motion. Is there any further discussion on that?
Move to approve.
There's been a motion to approve.
No, we just need a vote on the main motion as amended.
As amended.
So we
Thank
just
you
need
so
one
much,
more
Tamara.
vote.
Hearing no further discussion, we will vote on the amended motion.
Okay.
Tamara, go right ahead.
Councilmember Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Now we're on item 15, which is a report of October 25th, 2010, notice of transfer of appropriations within major organizational units.
Is there any discussion, City Council, or let somebody like to make a motion?
There's no action on this. It's just to discuss if they wish.
All right. Well, thank you. Hearing no discussion, if there's no other discussion, we can adjourn tonight's meeting if I could have a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Brown.
Second Anderson.
Thank you, Counselor Brown. Thank you, Counselor Anderson Jr. They both made a motion to end tonight's meeting. No further discussion. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Litz?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you. I do want to let our visitors know our meetings are much more livelier than this, and a lot more things that take place tonight. Just happens to be a pretty short meeting. So, again, I'd like to welcome you to the Scouts. I'd like to welcome you. Come back again, and you'll really enjoy it. Thank you, Sioux Falls, and thank you, City Council. This meeting is adjourned.